Right now at noon, a group in Arkansas is suing the state over a decision regarding an abortion rights petition.
And we're progressively starting to clear out across the area. A stray storm still possible. We'll go over the details in the forecast coming up.
Plus, federal law enforcement officials are holding briefings on the assassination attempt of former President Donald Trump.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
A bridge in Miami, Oklahoma has a new name. This is KOAM News at noon. I'm Elise Noe. The Ottawa Central Avenue Bridge, located near NEO A&M College, was dedicated this morning to the late chief of the Ottawa tribe, Ethel Cook. The bridge is now renamed as the Chief Ethel Cook Bridge in her honor. Chief Cook was described as beloved and an integral part of the Miami community and played a vital role in getting this bridge built.
It's more than I think words could ever say or ever. Yeah, it's just, it doesn't have to happen. And for them to acknowledge her and everything that she's done for the city and the tribe and the communities around us, it's phenomenal. It's amazing.
Chief Cook died at the age of 72 in September of 2023. She served as chief of the Ottawa tribe for over 12 years. Now let's check in with Chris Warner for a look at the forecast.
Yeah, we've still got some clouds out there across the region, and you can see them from the MoDOT camera 20th and range line in Joplin. Again, it is considerably calmer than what we were earlier this morning. Our camera on the Cornell complex in downtown Joplin, you can see a few peaks of clearing out there, and we're going to see more of that as time goes on. However, we could see a couple of additional little storms develop. We'll talk about that in the full forecast here in a few minutes. But as for now, look back to the north and west. Skies continuing to clear across parts of southeastern Kansas and even up into Bates County in southwestern Missouri. We started yesterday at 77, made it up to 91, so close to where we're supposed to be for this time of year, aside from the low. Right now, though, temperatures not bad for most of us. Still some low 70s where we had that rain linger a little bit. Otherwise, upper 70s and low 80s across the area. We're expecting skies to continue to clear as we head through the evening. And we'll eventually fall back to about 72 by midnight, ahead of a pretty decent cool night as well. As I mentioned, we've got a couple of stray storm chances this afternoon. We'll talk about those and how the weekend's shaping up in the full forecast here in a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, Chris, we'll see you soon. Well, Southwest Missouri authorities are investigating the drowning of a child. A 4-year-old girl was found unconscious in a home swimming pool in Marionville, Missouri, Monday night. First responders tried to revive her at the scene, but the girl was later pronounced dead at the hospital in Aurora. The police department says there is no indication of wrongdoing and the death appears to be a tragic accident. Southeast Kansas law officers are investigating a shooting incident that put 2 victims in the hospital. It happened in Independence on the 400 block of West Locust Street Monday night. 2 victims had arrived at different nearby hospitals in private vehicles. Law officers say both victims were involved in the same incident and that the situation was aimed at specific individuals. But investigators are not yet giving further details of what happened or the conditions of the victims. They're asking for people in that area to check their security cameras for evidence. Abortion advocates in Arkansas are suing the state for rejecting petitions for a ballot measure to scale back the state's ban on the procedure. Arkansans for Limited Government is asking the state Supreme Court to reverse a decision by Secretary of State John Thurston not to count signatures submitted by their petitions. Thurston's office says the group didn't submit required documents related to the paid signature gatherers it used, but the group says it did. The petitions aim to add a constitutional amendment question to the ballot to prohibit laws banning abortion in the first 20 weeks of pregnancy and adding exceptions for later terms. A source tells CBS News that former President Donald Trump's security detail had been beefed up prior to Saturday's assassination attempt after U.S. intelligence detected a possible Iranian plot, although there's no evidence of a connection between those threats and the shooting at the campaign rally in western Pennsylvania. Nicole Skanga reports from Washington, D.C.
In the weeks and months before the shooting at Donald Trump's rally in Butler, Pennsylvania, An intelligence source tells CBS News that there was a significant uptick in chatter concerning an Iranian plot to assassinate the former U.S. president, backed by human-sourced intelligence obtained by the U.S. The White House's National Security Council alerted Secret Service, and amid requests by Trump's security detail for more help, in June, the Secret Service granted Trump additional assets, including counter-assault teams, counter-sniper teams, drones, and robotic dogs. The government of Iran denies allegations it plotted to kill Trump. The investigation so far has not uncovered any links between Saturday's shooter and any co-conspirator, foreign or domestic, according to a federal law enforcement bulletin.
Given this latest threat from Iran, does it surprise you that an armed individual was able to get within 500 feet of the former president?
Yes, absolutely. And now we know that several citizens saw this guy. Police officers probably apparently saw him. And it is the question, how did an individual make his way to the rooftop of that particular building with a long rifle?
Sources tell CBS News that 3 snipers from local law enforcement assigned to help the Secret Service Saturday reported seeing Crooks 3 times in the minutes before the shooting, even taking a picture of him and radioing to the command post for backup.
The Inspector General of the Department of Homeland Security is opening an investigation into the planning of Trump's rally in Butler, Pennsylvania. Nicole Skanga, CBS News, Washington.
Multiple sources tell CBS News that federal law enforcement officials, including the Secret Service and the FBI, will brief both House and Senate lawmakers by phone later today on the assassination attempt. Well, coming up, a Joplin business is helping people without shelter stay safe in high temperatures. And later, we're making mango lime chicken in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. The Girard, Kansas Public Library closes the chapter on another edition of its summer reading program. The 6-week event began in June, and yesterday the library celebrated the top readers and participants in 3 programs: adult, young adult, and children. They handed out awards to the participants who read the most out of each category.
I read Half Upon a Time. It's like about a guy who it's basically all the fairy tale characters, but it's not the right story.
So we obviously, as a library, encourage everyone to read, and it's a great thing for the kids to continue reading throughout the summer so they don't fall back on what they gained throughout the school year.
The celebration concluded with an appearance from the Girard Fire Department, as well as some snow cones. Lee Always Buying a Books bookstore in Joplin is helping people stay cool during the high temperatures. The owner of the store says he wants to help the community stay safe in the heat by providing free cooling towels and water. KOAM's Melissa Alexis has that story.
We have access to it, and we think everyone should, be able to at least cool down some because it's so hot. That's just something little that we can do.
Always Buying Books bookstore in Joplin is helping people stay cool and hydrated during the high temperatures lately. They're helping the community by handing out 90 cooling towels along with water bottles that the community can take and distribute.
We see people out on the streets. We saw a need, and we've looking online, we found these towels, and we thought that'd just be perfect.
This organization has communities who may be most vulnerable to heat on their minds, such as houseless people. That's why they're making it their goal to hand out as many cooling towels as possible, all for free.
Terrible with this heat. I'm at my age, I can just stay out just a few minutes. And I just imagine there's probably people on the street my age or close to it, and it's dangerous, very dangerous.
Elise Foley is a manager at the store, and she says she's seen firsthand how dangerous the heat can be for people who don't have shelter.
It's so hot, being dehydrated, being too hot, if they don't have, someplace they can go to get out of the heat. So this, just a little way of helping them.
Wolf and Foley say that seeing people in need makes them more passionate about helping others in any way they can. Reporting in Joplin, Melissa Alexis, KOAM News.
You can find more information on where to find area cooling centers on our website. That's KOAMnewsnow.com. Folks in Joplin yesterday came out to Wildcat Glades Park to search for tiny wildlife. Naturalists at Wildcat Glades in Joplin took visitors about knee-deep into the waters of Shoal and Silver Creek. Visitors had a chance to learn about the life cycles of snails, worms, and crayfish living in the creeks.
Those little tiny macroinvertebrates, which basically just look like little bugs that live in the rocks and under the leaf litter and logs that exist in the creek. These tiny little invertebrates that are in there may seem insignificant being so small, but they really are a huge indicator of the health of our water.
Joplin Parks and Recreation, the Missouri Department of Conservation, and Wildcat Glades Nature Group teamed up to make the event possible. Still to come on KOAM News at noon, Mr. Food.
You can have a tropical tasting dinner as soon as tonight. Stick around and I'll show you how to do it.
And we've got below average temperatures continuing for the next few days and maybe some additional rain chances. We'll look at that forecast when we come back. Welcome back to the KOAM News at noon. So we've got a little bit of clearing going on in the Skywatch Storm Tracker. If you look off to the northwest, well, it shows more clearing taking place across parts of southeastern Kansas and to the northern parts of our viewing area around Bates and St. Clair County out there. And we've got broken clouds here, there, and everywhere, but we still got a pretty thick cloud shield across northeastern Oklahoma and then really along and south of I-44 right now. And that's thanks to all that rain that we received earlier. We had some flash flood warnings in our area. Again, much more significant flooding, Branson, Hollister, and then down into Marion County in Arkansas, where they were doing water rescues and evacuations because they received so much rain this morning. Now, here's what we're looking at. We talked about this before during the morning show. The model data is still really up in the air, but it wants to put a couple of stray showers, maybe a couple of thunderstorms somewhere along and south of I-44 as we head into the late afternoon, early evening hours. And here's what it's showing now. Again, along and south of I-44. If we see any of these, they're going to be short-lived. Most of us, as you see too, will remain dry, but nonetheless, just be aware we could see one more stray shower storm out there. Then as we head into our Thursday, things are looking great. Now, it's going to still be warm. I've told you before, 80 degrees to me, that's still pretty hot, but it's going to be a lot better than the dangerous heat we've had to contend with over the last various rounds we've had going back into early June. So right now in Joplin, 78. Now, because of the rain, all the moisture still in the air. We still have a heat index. It's only a couple of degrees in Joplin because we've got a lot of cloud cover out there, which is helping. Feels like 80, but that dew point at 69, humidity 74%. So now, where the sun has been coming out, check out Yates Center, Iola, Chanute, Neodesha, Sedan, Parsons. You get this line from Fort Scott, Parsons, Independence down into Washington County where the sun's been out and it's been out a little longer. So now you're into the low to mid 80s. The rest of us out here, especially down south where that cloud shield still is, look at Cassville, it's 71. And you travel up north to Stockton, it's 10 degrees warmer. That's the difference the sunshine makes. However, because the sun has come out, for those that are seeing it, you've got some slight heat index values out there. Yates Center feels like 90 right now, 88 in Iola. So it's not oppressive by any means, but the air is just thick enough that it is still relatively uncomfortable out there. But again, our temperatures remaining below normal. Keep in mind, 90 is our average high. Unfortunately, a heat index from going from a temperature of 82 to a heat index of 90 means that air is pretty thick. It's pretty uncomfy, even though it's not overly hot. Low to mid 80s for most of us today, but again, our friends out, especially into southeastern Kansas, where you've seen sunshine a little longer, may go into the upper 80s today, but still a pinch below normal, maybe an isolated storm or two. Northeast breeze around 5 to 10. Tonight, skies will continue to clear out, and we'll go about 67, so give your AC a break if you can out there. I'm sure it wants one. I'm sure your electric bill wouldn't mind a break either. Talking mid 80s tomorrow, mostly sunny skies, maybe a cloud or two. Temperatures, again, still below normal. Northeast breeze at around 5 to 10. As we head into the weekend, Friday, still sunny, still warm, mid 80s, but we stay below average as we head into the weekend. Then Sunday, Monday, we drop back into the low to mid 80s with thunderstorm chances coming in again. Nothing strong or severe expected at this point, but we'll keep an eye on that. That'll continue through Tuesday. Once we get through that, we'll start to warm back up toward the end of next week, back to about normal. So upper 80s, low 90s out there. So at least for now, I know it's still warm, but temperatures are below average. It's not bad.
Not bad at all. Thanks, Chris. Well, stick around. We're making mango lime chicken in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. We'll be right back. We're making mango lime chicken in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
When you're at the market picking up your produce, do you tend to buy the same few things week after week? If you do, how about shaking things up by adding mangoes to your shopping list? Right now, they're at their peak, which means they're as sweet as can be, so there's no better time to take advantage of them. Sure, we can simply cut them up for a healthy snack or add them to our smoothie, but we've got a great new idea that pairs this sweet tropical favorite with chicken. Sounds good? Then watch how easy. The first thing we do is cut the juicy pulp off a ripe mango. Then we place this in a blender along with some vegetable oil, fresh garlic, brown sugar, a hint of ground red pepper, some salt, and a splash of lime juice. After we give it a whirl, we pour it over some boneless, skinless chicken thighs, give them a toss, and into the fridge they go to marinate. And come dinner time, we can cook these inside in a skillet or on a grill pan or outside on the grill. After the chicken is cooked through and the outside starts to caramelize, they're ready to serve. How about serving them over a bed of rice for a tropical tasting dish that's far from ordinary? To get the recipe for our mango lime chicken, all you need to do is visit our website. I'm Howard with Kelly in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a mango-nificent way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
You can, of course, find this recipe on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. Now, here's a look at the 4-state market prices.
All right, so could see another couple of isolated showers late this afternoon, early evening. Otherwise, gradual clearing, below average temperatures rather the next several days, mid-80s, more storms Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and we'll get back to normal toward the end of next week.
All righty, not too bad though.
Not
too
at
bad. All right, thanks, Chris. Well, coming up tonight at 5, summer can be the most dangerous time to be an avocado lover. It's the time of year hand surgeons see the most injuries related to opening avocados. We'll have some tips on how to properly peel this yummy snack. Plus, post-election audit of the June 18th, the primary election in Ottawa County takes place. And we're going to take a look at the staffing challenges Missouri schools are facing ahead of a new school year. You can join us for those stories and more on KOAM News at 5.
Who knew avocados were so dangerous?
I don't even know what to do with you right now. Have a great rest of your day.